All right, hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. I am honored to call this meeting to order. In accordance with the state sunshine law, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by sending a notice of the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda of this meeting on January 5th, 2024, and February 16th, 2024, to the Home News Tribune and the Times, posted on the district website, placed in the board office and in each of the district schools, and sent to Plainsboro and West Windsor public libraries and Plainsboro and West Windsor township clerks. Okay, so, well, Dr. Adderholt, do you have any?
Just one second, Madam President. We just need you take roll call.
Yep, need a roll call.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
start with Ms. Bonsall. Ms. Chenier.
Here.
Ms. Ho.
Here.
Ms. Krug.
Present. I have to press the button.
Okay, sorry, I caught everyone off guard. Just shout it, you don't need the mic. Okay, I realize yeah, okay. Ms. Shetty, Ms. Malika, not here. Ms. Zovich.
Here.
Ms. Juliana.
Here.
Ms. McEwen.
Here. And the reason we're doing this is because we didn't have closed executive session before the meeting as we normally do. All right, no comments this evening from Dr. Adderholt. So next, I would like to introduce our auditor, Scott Cleland from PKF O'Connor Davies, to give us the presentation on the 2022-2023 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report. Mr. Cleland, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here tonight to present the results of the 23 audit. This is my fifth presentation today, so bear with me. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. I think that's a record, 5 board meetings in one day. But anyway, again, thank you very much for inviting me here. And we did meet probably a month or so ago now with the Finance Committee, and we did go over the report in detail. I believe you received PDF copies electronically, and Bonnie reminded me to just let you know that if you want a hard copy, I believe they are upstairs in Bonnie's office or in Derek's office. The audit is completed and filed. We actually filed on time this year, which was December 5th, which we were happy to get it out of the way. And unfortunately, from scheduling conflicts, the presentation is until this evening. This was the first year in 5 years where the state was actually able to provide us with the pension and benefit information in order to get the audits done by the December 5th deadline. In the past, last year's were dated in March. This year's report, if you look at it, is dated December 5th, right on the deadline. It was a lot of work getting there, and just so you know, only 28% of the school district audits were filed by the deadline in the state of New Jersey. 28%, and as of today, it's 85%, so they're still not all filed. But you were one of the ones that got it in the deadline. We had to make a tough choice as to whether which ones we thought we could get done. Definitely didn't get them all done on time, but we knew with the record keeping here and Chris and Derek and everybody, we would get this thing done. I also want to recognize the board and the superintendent and Chris and everyone that works in the administration for the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting. This is your 15th consecutive year of receiving that award. You're one of about 30 districts that receive that award. And again, it's just a recognition of your administration for a job well done. The audit went very, very well. As usual, the information that was provided to us was accurate and allowed us to put an opinion on your financial statements, which is unmodified, which is a clean opinion. And I knew probably the happiest person to know that the last audit they had to deal with was unmodified was Lou. Prior to his retirement, he was very concerned about making sure the last audit was his best audit. So he definitely did that, and he will be missed. The district also prudently puts money aside into the various reserves. You have an emergency reserve, a cap reserve, and a maintenance reserve set aside for future use. I know you've already started going through the budget process for the 24-25 fiscal year. And you know how much fund balance and cap reserve you're going to be utilizing in that budget. As part of the audit, we test your internal controls over the various aspects of your district: payroll, revenues, receipts, purchasing and so forth. Happy to report we had no findings in the current year. And we also are required to perform testing of some of your federal and state grants, and we test for control exceptions or compliance. And again, I'm happy to report that there were no findings and there are no repeat findings, and therefore there will be no corrective action plan requirement for this year from the board. So again, the audit went very well, as I would expect in West Windsor. I want to again thank the administration for all the time and effort they put in to help us get the audit done. And again, you're one of 28% that got filed on time this year. So with that, I'd be more than happy to open it up to any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cleland. Any questions from the board? Okay. Well, thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you, and have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Scott.
Okay, now we can move on to the first opportunity for public comments. The board invites thoughts and reactions on agenda items and items of concern from members of our community who are present. Each participant is asked to give his or her name and address prior to making a statement, which will be limited to 3 minutes in accordance with Board Policy 0167. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. This public comment period shall be limited to 60 minutes. Do we have any public comments? Nope, seeing none, I will close this public comment period. And now we can turn to the Board of Education Committee reports. Our first report from Dana, Administration and Facilities.
Good evening, everyone. The Administration and Facilities Committee met on Thursday, February 8th. The committee welcomed Kate Dobinson, High School South and Grover Middle School Athletic Director, and Jeff Riley, who's the High School North and Community Middle School Athletic Director, to discuss athletic updates, including trends in participation and the start of a cricket program at the high school level. Spring high school sports registration is open and will close on February 26th. Middle school spring sports registration is open and closes March 8th. We also discussed the February 13th Parent University on the benefits of youth sports that was held virtually. Several WWP North and South graduates will share. This didn't happen before our meeting, so shared their athletics experience in district and how this experience helped them in college and post-college. Representatives from the local Little League and the Stalker Association also were in attendance to share information about their programs. Next, we welcome Jessica Sincata, who's the High School South principal, Carl Cooper, who's the supervisor of curriculum instruction, and Sonia Singh, who's a High School North assistant principal. They provided an update on the advancement via individual determination, or AVID program, that is this year graduating its first cohort. A discussion on the AVID selection process, curriculum and instruction, and college and career readiness programming ensued. I think that's Lee's word, not mine. Anyway, the committee reviewed the memorandum of understandings with the Church of St. David the King in West Windsor and the Princeton Alliance Church in Plainsboro, which would allow for the relocation of students and staff in the event of an emergency requiring an evacuation. Dr. McDonald shared the district's ongoing articulation with first responders and the student reunification process. The committee reviewed the proposed 2025-2026 academic calendar and recommends approval at tonight's board meeting. Dr. McDonald gave us an update on referendum projects. Phase 2 punch list completion continues at the Wyckoff School. Building and electrical inspections are complete for the town center, school, media center. Plumbing, masonry, and HVAC work is underway for the media centers at Maurice Hawk and Village Schools. The committee will next meet March 12th.
Cool, thanks, Dana. Do we have any questions from the board for A&F? Okay, so for the curriculum committee, could we have a report, please?
Good evening, everyone. The curriculum committee met on Tuesday, February 13th, and during our meeting, the committee discussed the Middlesex College dual enrollment memorandum of understanding. Dr. Gould reviewed the specific details around WWP entering into a partnership with Middlesex Community College that will allow West Windsor-Plainsboro students to earn dual enrollment college credits while in high school. We also discussed instructional rounds. Dr. Gould reviewed with the team the process taken by the administrative group to norm their practices around the evaluation rubric. Specifically, they discussed exploration of the Danielson 2022 evaluation rubric and the district's future plan. The committee also discussed additional items which are up for vote today. The committee recommends approval of a district membership in Diversity Council on Global Education and Citizenship with Keene University for the 2024-2025 school year at a cost of $300. The committee recommends entering into a partnership between West Windsor-Plainsboro School District and Middlesex Community College that will allow West Windsor-Plainsboro students to earn dual enrollment college credits while in high school. The committee recommends approval for 3 staff members to attend Math Recovery Council professional development virtually at a cost not to exceed $2,985 paid through Title II funds. The committee recommends submission of a letter of intent on behalf of the district to the New Jersey Department of Education for the Developing Resiliency with Engaging Approaches to Maximize Success, the DREAMS project. And the committee also recommends the following overnight field trips. For High School North, the robotics team to Lehigh University from April 3rd, 2024 to April 6th, 2024. The cost of the trip is approximately $400 per student. Model Congress to University of Pennsylvania from April 11, 2024 to April 14, 2024. The cost of the trip is approximately $500 per student. Robotics team to George R. Brown Convention Center, Houston, Texas, from April 16, 2024 to April 21st, 2024. The cost of the trip is approximately $800 per student. And Science Olympiad to Michigan State University from May 23rd, 2024 to May 26, 2024. The cost of the trip is approximately $1,000 per student. And field trips for High School South would be Model Congress to University of Pennsylvania from April 11th till April 14th. The cost of the trip is approximately $500 per student. Our committee will next meet on Wednesday, March 13th.
Thanks, Pooja. Does anyone have a question for the curriculum committee? Okay, so Louisa, you are up next for finance.
Sure. The Finance Committee met on February 13th virtually. Board members Ho and McEwen attended, along with Christopher Russo and Derek Mead. First, the committee reviewed items for tonight's agenda. This included the monthly financial reports, along with the administration's certification that there are enough funds to complete the year. The annual audit will be presented by the district's audit firm for acceptance. There is a motion to approve the current auditor, PKF O'Connor Davies, to perform the 23-24 annual school audit at the completion of this fiscal year. The district is adding 3 copiers to its total for areas in need of a copier. A small change order is needed to be approved to close out the pool bubble replacement project. There are several quoted bus routes on the agenda to be canceled. These are being canceled because, as per state statute, these same routes were placed out to bid and awarded formally at the last board meeting. Several more routes are on the agenda for approval for school activities. Administration and board travel is on the agenda for upcoming professional development. Next, the administration shared that staff work is continuing on the 24-25 budget. The administration is still reviewing appropriation numbers as the appropriations must meet the anticipated revenue. State aid numbers will not be known until the last Thursday in February, which is more than 2 weeks away. The central office team has a meeting scheduled tomorrow to dig into the numbers further as a group. The committee and board will be updated several more times prior to the board's vote to submit the tentative budget to the county office on March 19th. Staff also updated the committee on the status of construction projects. At Wyckoff, they are working on HVAC controls for both Phase 2 of the Wyckoff expansion and renovation project and the separate Wyckoff HVAC project. Closeout documents are being created by both contractors. At the Town Center Library, final building and electrical inspections have occurred. Plumbing inspection will be scheduled after a stuck valve is replaced, which will allow the final plumbing work to occur. At Hawken Village, work continues on the library renovation projects with installation of plumbing and HVAC and patching the concrete slab. Replacement of faulty hot water valves will occur when students are not in session. The new rooftop units are expected to ship next week. Bids were accepted for the Community Middle School Emergency Radio Enhancement Project last week. They are currently being reviewed by the board's attorney. Staff updated the board on food service operations. The district will be going out to bid for our food services. To do that, we need information from the existing food service management company. Staff reported that the information is expected any day. We are also waiting on information from the state. The Department of Agriculture had a food service update workshop that was scheduled several weeks ago. It was rescheduled due to snow. The state's forms must be used when putting out an RFP, and the NJ Department of Agriculture must review the document prior to advertisement. The NJ Department of Agriculture conducted an administrative review of our food service program January 2nd to 8th. They commented that we were doing a fine job. As with all administrative reviews, there will be a few findings to be corrected. The number of breakfasts served during the month of January was up from pre-pandemic, which is January of 2020, numbers by 1,493 to 2,602. The number of lunches served decreased by 16,429 to 43,152, comparing the same time periods. High School North has begun serving halal meals as of January. High School South will begin in February. Sodexo has 2 new staff members that started in January. The new gas range for Village that was purchased with federal grant money was installed in January. More equipment still needs to be installed, and more has been purchased using federal funds. We have now spent 100% of the supply chain assistance funds on foods that meet the minimally processed criteria. The elementary breakfast in the classroom program has seen an increase of 100 per day over the previous month's numbers. A hot breakfast will be offered 3 days per week starting in March. Sodexo has partnered with NutriSlice for its online meal ordering platform, and the rollout started this month. There was no further discussion of transportation, although it was on the agenda for our meeting because it was discussed early in the meeting when we reviewed agenda items for tonight's board meeting. The committee will next meet on Tuesday, March 12th.
Thanks, Louisa. Any questions from the board? Okay, next we'll move on to the voting portion of our, oh wait, I'm sorry. Liz, go ahead.
Just one quick question, just about the hot breakfast that will be served 3 days per week, starting in March. Which, is it at the elementary school, or this is item number 4C?
Yeah, at
Do
the
we know?
elementary level.
Just one school or multiple
I
schools?
believe across the board.
That's great, thank you.
All right. So can I have a motion for administration items 1 through 4? Dana and Liz.
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Let me see, okay. Start with Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Yep, gotcha. Sorry, just repeating myself. Ms. Jenniera.
Yes.
Ms. Ho.
Yes.
Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Zovich.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes. Could I get a motion for curriculum and instruction items 1 through 4? Rachel and Pooja. Are there any questions or comments?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Jenniera.
Yes.
Ms. Ho.
Yes.
Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Zovich.
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes. And can I get a motion for finance items number 1 through 22 plus the blue addendum? Louisa and Robin. Any questions or comments?
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Ho.
Yes, but I abstain on number 22.
Okay, staying on 22. Ms. Krug.
Yes.
Ms. Zovich.
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall.
Yes.
Ms. Jenniera.
Yes.
Ms. Juliana.
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes, but I also abstain from 22B. Okay, now we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which is personnel. Can I get a motion for personnel items, item number 1 and the green addendum? Robin, and Liz. Oh, you have a question? Go ahead.
I was just curious on the salary for cricket. Is that 6,217, or it just didn't have a dollar sign, so I'm not really sure. Or if that's like a code for something.
I mean, I would say
Yeah,
that's
that's,
the
thank you.
annual.
It's a stipend of 6,200. The formatting isn't right. I'll correct
Okay,
that.
yeah, no problem. I just wanted to double check. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Good catch, by the way.
Okay, we'll start with Ms. Krug,
Yes.
Ms. Zovich,
Yes.
Ms. Bonstall,
Yes.
Ms. Cheniera,
Yes.
Ms. Ho,
Yes.
Ms. Juliana,
Yes.
Ms. McEwen.
Yes. And before we move on, I do want to acknowledge a retirement that we just voted on. Congratulations to Lisa Savas, a technology teacher at both high schools, who is retiring after 20 and a half years in the district. Thank you very much for your years of service and dedication to WWP. We wish you the best of luck and enjoy your retirement. Now we will move on to approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from January 23rd and February 6th? Pooja and Dana. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions?
I'm just abstaining from the January 23rd closed session.
Perfect. Okay. Any board liaison reports? Not tonight? Okay. Any new business? Okay, that takes us to the second opportunity for public comments. The board invites comments from members of our community who are present. Each participant is asked to give his or her name and address prior to making a statement, which will be limited to 3 minutes in accordance with Board Policy 0167. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. This public comment period shall be limited to 15 minutes.
Debbie Barron, I'm a teacher in the district. So it was such a quick meeting, I figured I'd fill you in on something. When the meetings go long, I don't like to add to them. We've talked a little bit about the partnership that we have with a FAST grant that's offered through NJEA, and we're able to do some workshops with a variety of populations and families in the evening. We also, as the association, have access to, they're called Pride grants, but they're not in the LGBTQ community. They're Pride in Public Education grants. We have about $30,000 worth of those grants that we share with the district, and I just thought I'd fill you in on a couple. So for Black History Month, we were able to partner through PEMA's help with the African American Parent Support Group, as well as the Black Student Union, for presentations for families at each of the high schools last week. They had food, they were able to raise some money for their club. So it was a really nice partnership with the district. And another thing that we got very, very focused on while we were in the pandemic was supporting the pantries. So there are 2 food pantries, one in West Windsor and one in Plainsboro. We're able to get $1,500 worth of supplies for them. They choose what they would like, what they need at the time. We particularly picked Valentine's Day because Thanksgiving is an opportunity, lots of people give, and Christmas, lots of people give. But by February, people aren't thinking as much about giving. So we've moved our donation to that time, and we've been able to get them each 300 reusable bags, which they're short of all the time because they can't use plastic bags anymore. So I just wanted you to know that that's how we're partnering with the community and with the district to try and support the students' work, their clubs, help them raise a little bit of money, because as we underwrite, they make more money. So those have been our goals. There are a few others that I'll share at another time, but those are the ones that are current, and good news is always good to share, right, Dave? Whenever I meet with Dave, we always start with the good news. So.
Good news is always welcome. Thank you for the share. Okay, seeing no other comments, I will close this second opportunity for a public comment period, and we'll move on to adjournment. So can I get a motion to adjourn? Liz and Robin. All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, good night.